and we'll have to see what kind of impact he can get, because we are finally into the best of the action. Of course, Ancient, the map pick of the Movistar Riders, are first to start things off. forZe opting for the CT side to get things going, and it's time to see what damage he has got in his back pocket.
Really something interesting for us. Like again, ahead of us as Sharpie wants that initial peek in on mid, just trying to keep that one player at bay. Everyone else already grouped outside of B. Where Result has some dual Berettas. These can be make or break.
Oh, Adam.
I have no idea yet. Lock it. Is fairly taking out a couple players as well. And with that, the bomb should be planted on that site with little chance of a fight here being put up. Tanir and Crad. I'd like a couple exit kills maybe, but I'm not expecting much more than that.
Yeah, that's job done. Martinez. Those two picks in middle with a P250 in hand, that really just seals the round, even if Adam doesn't get the drop on his man, which of course he does. A little fortunate and a little unfortunate, you can argue, for Result shouldering that angle and Cave. He's burdened with the responsibility of both angles. And that does open up potentially a clean timing, which is well taken advantage of by the Movistar Riders. So they start their map pick the right way. Crad and Tanir just opting to save. I mean, they've got a decent amount of armor. Flashbang on Crad as well. Maybe go for a force spike, go for something a little cheeky, or even just use that flashbang to try and get a couple of those pistols into positions to do damage. And look for the buy again in round 3.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's going to be much of a force, as you said. Get that buyout in the next. It'll be limited with utility. No, they're actually going to go for it, okay?
I don't mind it. You know, they saved a couple sets of armor. It's not an awful buy. You know, you got 2 FAMASs. Gokushima will have to see what he can do with the scout. Result, the only man who's really taken a significant sacrifice. It's an interesting player to put on that 5-7 rather than a rifle, given he's the highest rated player in this forZe lineup. But out towards the cave, you can sort of see what he's going for. Up close and personal, that 5-7 does do a lot of work. Of course, the HG's now giving away sound cues of his position, so he's got to be a little bit cautious. Drops his smoke. Pop flash for Shalfie to have a look in mid. But Movi treating this round with the respect it deserves, I think it's safe to say. With a couple of nades coming out, they're starting to sniff out that this one might be indeed a force buy. So just holding off passive initially, seeing if there's any over-aggression, any peaks coming in from this CT side. And with nothing forthcoming, starting to have a little bit of a prod and a poke out towards B.
And it might be where they want to end it, judging by the heavy presence in this direction, but it seems like forZe has a pretty good idea of that as well. They've got 3 players themselves on this B side of the map, so Movistar are going to need some big entries. Despite the weaker weapons, this still could be very dangerous. There's a 4th even in the back now with that scout. Kamali to try and force those pistols out of position. It's the massive close on ramp though that had to stand its ground. Leaving Tanir tucked in the back corner without much damage assistance, which only allows him to pull off 1 kill. But he's kept his team in with a bit of a chance here. Gokushima has a 1-on-2. Smoked in towards long right now. There should be room for that bomb to go down. Adam S has it covered, and at this point it'll be difficult for them to let this slip. As soon as that scout's fired off, a trade would likely be available unless they give him a bit of a silly peek.
Yeah, don't have to peek at all, just hold the angles and the job's good, right? Shima with the footsteps, position given away, punished by Just. Lovely stuff. And I think forZe are going to be a little bit disappointed with that one, not going to lie. Result did his job beautifully, and towards the cave he gets an early pick on the 5-7. And Tanir, I think, just getting caught by that MP9 spray a little bit, would have expected to get the 2nd kill on that ramp player. Can't quite find the conversion. If he does so, I think then that round starts to swing very differently. 2v2 after plant feels much more lethal. As it is, though, it will be the half buy. A couple of bits and pieces invested. Interesting to see Gokushima going for the Zeus. Not normal to see Europa investing at all into these sort of rounds, but he fancies it, thinks he can get something done in towards the cave. For the rest of the team, largely default pistols. I mean, there's a handful of P250 scattered about to see if they can find something. And here comes the utility to try and flush Gokushima out. There's the molly, there's the flames, and there's the kill.
Yeah, I mean, you want to catch a player on their own, steal their weapon away, but you don't get loss bonus or anything like that. So, as you said, a strange choice for the Opera of all players. Result, nice. He's stolen an AK. Might even get a chance to run away and save this. That's the goal, but there's a player in the spawn. I think he heard to step in the water. I'm not sure if Just actually got the info that Result was here. Apparently not. That's going to be another kill added onto the tally. I mean, winning the round should be damn near still impossible, but as you can see, they've at the very least made it costly in a round where they had, what, a couple pistols and a Zeus invested, so it's not a bad result. They should still have that AK unless someone's willing to hunt.
Yeah, Resolt's having none of it. He did technically have the bomb outside B as well, but he just hightailed it. Fancies his AK. Wants to bring it forward into the next round. And to be honest, you're absolutely right. It's not a bad result at all, is it? A couple of kills. Got to imagine Davide should start to hunt this one down, though. Mac 10's not the worst weapon in the world to lose. And if you can take that AK away from Result, all the better. Doesn't look too bothered, though. I think they're still conscious of the fact that Result might want to give it a go, given he's got the AK-47. So playing very cautiously. And only just now looking to exit, so there isn't going to be any hunt. It will be a third round on the board for the Movistar Riders, but a couple of kills, AK recovered. It's not a bad result for forZe either, a bit of a handshake.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough not wanting to peek Result too early on, just in case he is still sticking around. He is, as you said, one of the more capable players for sure over on that forZe lineup, so and he has a rifle especially. Play a little bit safer just to be sure. I'll let him save it forward. It'll give him an extra few nades here, and what is a pretty good buy for forZe. But yeah, we're getting into round 4 now. This is where they need to start getting themselves on the board. They need to start getting into this game. Let's see if they have it. If they have what it takes, rather. As we said, they've done pretty good damage, so the economy is not amazing for Movistar. If they were to lose this round, they'd be looking at Nico onto at least a couple of those players. Be a bit of a mismatched buy, so there is a chance for forZe to try and break Movistar relatively early on. That mid-aggression I don't think has been fully spotted. They're actually going to back away though. And in the meantime, Result's walked out onto B. Oh, back onto B, sorry, yeah, he's CT. I was confused by the AK for a second, my bad. My brain's still waking up apparently. We all have those moments.
3-man exec onto the A site though, and they're going to commit pretty hard to it. Gokushima's up for the first. Bomb is on the back of Martinez, and it's a little staggered this. They've got a couple of players looking to split through middle, not quite catching the timing though. Just at the very least has managed to sneak his way out towards Big Box, and that will draw the crosshair of this AWP just a while. Forces him into a more passive angle, but he's still up for it. Second kill uncontested, just goes in for more and takes the leg to find the kill. Buys his team a 3-on-4, but again, they are wholly committed to this A site now. And you can see forZe so ready with the rotations. Tanir already in towards Donut. Shalfie around 90, able to get a free kill onto Mopos. The only place they've not got any cover at the moment is out towards Temple, and that's not really being contested that heavily. Bomb on site. Adam will do well to get one, but he's down so desperately low that Crad is able to take him out cleanly. From that point, it's just about mopping up the extras. Nicely controlled from forZe. That A-site hit just looked like the timings were 5% off to me. It looked like there was a couple of players looking to work Donut and just not able to get there quite in time. So Gokushima's got free reign on the A main lurk.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like he shouldn't have got away with it as much as he did.
Yeah.
He was pinned back towards the temple. Even when the molly went down, he's still able to pick 2 players off through that gap. They should have just smoked that afterwards, or just not taken the fight there. They could have focused elsewhere and probably had an easier time getting onto the bomb site itself. Instead, they just got stagnated around the kind of boxes there outside of temple. Either way, as I mentioned, the buy is not perfect for Movistar, but they are still able to get some rifles in play. And we're seeing a bit of aggression from Result in towards the cave. Not wanting to fully commit to that peak right now, especially as his teammate calls for assistance back on this bomb site itself. Now there's 3 of them already pushed up close. Result's in trouble. The flash was perfect. Martinez gets that bomb down, and they'll back off and just start playing out this after plant very, very early on in this round.
Tough retake, even with the slightly limited firepower for Movistar. This is going to be one hell of a task for the CT side. Shalfie gets one. Well, he's not interested, and neither's Gokushima out towards A. They're just looking to save their rifles. Tanir and Crad, meanwhile, are having a bit of a crack at this one. It's an awkward fight. Tanir gets one, and they want their teammates. They want the support. They want to give this a try, but it's just not to be. The support isn't there. Crad very briefly gets his hands on the bomb, but it's Movistar Riders who are going to get the 4th regardless. A bit of damage towards the end of things, sure, but you've got to feel like if forZe had maybe committed to that wholeheartedly, they brought those 2 A players along for the ride, that could have been a retake they'd stuck.
Yeah, I mean, the extra, even 1 player to cover the angles there, take that position towards the ramp as the reload's coming in, make sure the defuser doesn't get killed, they probably would have had that one out. But I mean, it's a hard one to read. You know Movistar are on a pretty good buy. You know they've already overrun the bomb site, and you desperately need those weapons here and now in this round as well. So I can understand why the decision to make the save was called for, but it didn't make much sense to also kind of half go for it at the same time. They should have just went for the full save. Either way, it's 4-1. Movistar do manage to snatch back some control for themselves, but forZe again do still have all the rifles and the op in play. They've got pretty much everything they could ask for, and the nades are perfect on the Mopos. I think one went over the top as well. Dunked down on top of him. It's a trade back in mid at least, but it's not fantastic considering just does take a dink. So I think forZe are okay with this. They're willing to fall back and play things a little bit more passively now.
It's a good bit of control for the T side at the very least. You can see Crad starting to question it, drops his own smoke to try and get an angle to work with, but the rest of Movi's starting to work down towards this B site once again, where for now, Gokushima has been left solo. They want to go for this mid retake with 1 minute and 5 left on the clock, so Crad and Tanir are going to work their way through Donut, but this does leave a huge timing. And Gokushima is going to be mollied off his first position of choice as well. He's got to be proactive with it now. Takes a tight old angle in towards Jaguar. This is going to be a tough one to hit if he gets the opportunity. Does well. Teammate traded out in towards that mid push, and now the Molotov to force Gokushima back. He's managed to escape to the site. Result in support. And off the back of that kill in mid, you can see this T-side of Movi. They want to press the issue in towards A, but Tanir, still alive and kicking, does fantastically well on the adjustment to get 2. Should have been dead in the water, but buys his teammates a 2-on-1. Resort rotating in, should hear this bomb go down on A any second. Gokushima can protect Donut. It's on to Adam S to try and stitch together this 1v2. Does have an isolated fight for now at the very least. Nestled behind backside. Result needs to be careful, needs to clear this, and does so right as Adam S starts to consider the possibility of Donut. Gets his head cleaved off, and forZe will have their second round. A well-managed one. I mean, there's some interesting calls in there. That aggression in towards mid with 1 minute left on the clock could have backfired, but Gokushima's up to the task on the AWP, looking very solid so far.
Yeah, they've managed to stabilize things now. Bomb going down again, of course, though, does give some money to Movistar. They can get a couple pistols and such, but not enough for the full buy. They'll still need to go for the eco before they can get the rifles back in the next round, so we should see 3 on the board fairly easily here for forZe. I don't want to completely count out Movistar. We've seen what pistols can do. Very deep mid smoke there. Don't know if that was intended. Either way, a molly as well. Someone actually pushing up the follow-up on that. They don't want to get too close. They know that they're up against a weaker buy here, so there's no need to take too many risks, other than the fact that they've gone for a bit of a stack back over towards B, which could be the correct decision considering Movistar are all grouped outside right now.
Yeah, that's the expected pressure. You know you've got Gokushima watching out towards A. He'll be trusted if there's anything through A main to get at least a couple picks and just fall off the angles. So let's keep the pressure out towards B. And well, Resort is very up for it. Onto the pistol, quad kill. Everyone is mowed down. Tanir nicks the ace away, but they won't mind that one bit. Lovely and smooth. That's what we're talking about from Resort. That crispy aim on the rifles, doing him well. And forZe are starting to drag themselves back into contention in this one. Movi will have the buy again. But on their map pick, they'll want a little bit more out of this T side.
The ops have been quiet so far. I mean, Ancient does have some decent opportunities for these oppers, but not necessarily to battle each other the majority of the time. So it'll be interesting to see if we eventually have them up against each other a bit. Aggression down mid, I believe, to actually pinch out towards B at the shelves. This can be dangerous. Result also pushed through the cave. Mopo's left alone here up on B, and he's in trouble. Already gone as that mid push catches him off guard. There's 2 more players still close, but they are being hunted as Result. He's willing to sacrifice himself there to get that 1-for-1 trade, which, I mean, is more than worthwhile in this scenario with Martinez now left alone. He needs an ace clutch. 1 kill to his name so far, 4 to go. He's been flanked even as well.
Yeah, this one's going to be tough. They know where the AWP is. They know exactly what to look out for. Starting to take some control down the B lane as well. And that's exactly what you want to see from a CT side on a map like Ancient. As Tanir puts down the last man. Very proactive in towards middle. Pinched pinching the players in the B lane with the cave presence as well. Good utility over the top, consistently chipping down those T-side players. It's Ancient 101 on the CT side, and forZe are doing a very, very good job of it. Result leading the charge firmly on 12. Only player in the server to hit double digits, and he's already working his way through them as well. So as Movi go down to another half-buy scenario, they'll be aware that this one, it's not slipped yet. 4-all, you know, they're still very much in contention, but a couple more rifle rounds going astray like that one, and it could be a very different picture for them.
Yeah, and we did also point out the fact that this, of course, is the map choice of Movistar. Moving forward, things will look even better for forZe going on towards Nuke. So if they can take a solid victory with the kind of pace that they've had over these last 4 or so rounds now, then forZe could be on track for a 2-0. As you said, though, still very, very early days, but we're just kind of setting up how the story could play out if Movistar don't start to find their fun. Oh, bit of damage on Crad.
Neither player quite finding the mark in the way they would have hoped. davidji goes down to 32, Crad goes down to 45, so a couple of shots landed either side. Mopoz hoping to the gods of Tech 9s that that angle works out for him. It's always a bit of a juggle to see who gets the better of it, and Resort, well, he's having none of that nonsense. Takes the head clean off. davidji up next, tagged up, down to 32. It's a tough fight for him to take, and Resort's just happy for the kills. And at this point, they are just feeding the beast somewhat. Martinez, the next man to chance his arm on the Resort roulette. At the very least, he is waiting for a bit of support. And Justin Adam have both got P250s here, so with 7 bullets left in the mag, it should be difficult for Resort to get too much more done. And indeed, he is finally put down, but Shalfie is there. And he mops up the 2 remaining kills without too much fuss. So another very, very smooth round for forZe. They've built up a lovely bit of economy in the bank as well. They'll be buying pretty much for the rest of the half at this point. So Movi, they've realised the threat. They take their first time out, and they need to change the picture here quite drastically. After some initial success, especially on that pistol round, and then the conversions following from that, it's really gone downhill quite rapidly.
Yeah, I mean, first couple of rounds were super promising. Instead, now Movistar have left trailing behind 5 rounds. At the very least, have full loss bonus, sure, but they've realized that they need to call in this tactical pause and, well, hopefully start winning out some rounds again soon. I mean, it's difficult to deal with when you have Result on 15-5 already, only going into round 10 to near 9-3 as well. I mean, there's no one slacking right now. The only reason Crad's 2-4 is because he hasn't been where the action is the majority of the time. I think he's been thrown into a few retakes.
I mean, to be fair, 7 of Resalt's kills are ecos, so that's...
Still, builds up the confidence.
You've got to get them.
And in the middle of the gameplay, Movistar aren't thinking that. They're just like, damn, Result has mad kills.
This is the round. Movi will be aware of it. Pressure on to make an impact. And, well, they're going to change the picture up a little bit, piling the pressure in towards mid. Mopo's taking a lot of damage to get across towards heaven. Shalfie just having a little look down mid, realising there's a good bit of presence there. Doesn't want to overcommit. Takes the shot of the AWP.
Close.
That jump spot, always a hard one to land, but very nearly connected from Martinez. And the question is, they've got this initial control. First time in a while we've seen Movi go for that initial mid play. What's the reaction off the back of it? More damage exchanged. And once again, more damage favouring this CT side early. 2 players on Movistar Riders chipped down with a minute left on the clock. And they want to take it back towards B, but it's been read beautifully by forZe. The double donut setup is trusted to hold A. Although Gokushima does miss a shot, and that's going to start to put a little bit of pressure back onto this CT side. Still a couple of T-side players for now lurking in towards mid, just hoping to keep those rotations honest a little while longer. The problem is forZe are pretty damn committed over towards A. They've got 3 players here ready and waiting to receive. 30 seconds on the clock. Shalfie does go down, and now it's go time. An initial pick should give them exactly what they need here. Crad hoping to catch a timing on the spam, but he's got nothing to stop this. Result inside a cave does well to get 1. Can't deny that bomb going down, however, and there's flanks all over the shop. Just gets 1. Crad quickly in with a trade. Buys the 3-on-3. And a two-man setup in towards the cave is going to be a tough one for Gokushima to clear. He can't hit his first shot, but there's Tenier playing the smokes, trading down beautifully, and it's all on Martinez again. This time 1v2. Bomb planted in a good position for him. Crad waits for his teammate, waits for the support. Smoke goes down, and Crad punishes it. Martinez falls, and it will be forZe. The retake lands. A little bit of magic from Tenier around the smoke, and it's forZe who have 6.
Yeah, very well played there as well. If the player that was waiting in the smoke pushed through any earlier, he likely would have been taken down. Instead, they wait to get that smoke in on the ramp and peek it together perfectly. It's the small little things right now that are paying off for forZe, and as you said, just been able to creep around back in towards the cave right there. Tenier had a big play, and well, it's 6-4. Movistar looked like they were finally getting back on the board. It fell apart in the end. See what the plan is. It seems like a fairly standard default split for the moment. On the forZe side of things, nothing crazy is happening either. Just a little bit of aggression around mid. Shelfie's actually going to push forward to the shelf. He's had some good plays around this area, but I don't think he wants to stay too aggressive on his own anymore. Indeed, made a bit of noise, fell back off, and just really has Movistar being cautious.
This time they are going to give up Jaguar for free, though. Result playing inside of the site. Seen him get a lot of damage from those early angles. Going to fall a little more passively on this occasion. That'll allow Mopos and Daviji to take that map control away. And you can see the response from forZe. They want to try and press the issue. Molly and Smoke go down into bottom mid. Lock the eyes away. Give Shelfie the opportunity to start pressing further. Martinez spots him out, though, and he's got to be careful. He's pinched from about 3 angles at once here, so does very well to get away. Problem is, again, he's got a decent read on the situation, right? We've seen nothing over towards the A bomb site whatsoever, so forZe feeling perfectly comfortable for now, at least, to keep 3 players there, ready and waiting. And with the majority of Movistar headed in that general direction, it looks like that's exactly what's about to get hit. Still, 3 players from the CT side remain. Not moving a muscle with 30 seconds left on the clock. Here comes the execute again. Movi hoping for some different fortunes this time. The flashbang is good. Result takes full advantage for 1. Spray down connects onto 2. And he's bought his team the man advantage here. Gokushima able to catch the man in towards the cave. And this one's even worse than the last. Adam doing what he can, but he's onto the Glock. He's ran out of ammo. Does very well to pick up another on low HP. There's only 7 seconds left. He's got to get this bomb down. And he will do so. Time now to reload that AK-47 to try and make something of this. forZe both headed through the cave. Gokushima will try and bait this one out for Shelfie, but Adam just holding the wrong angle at the wrong moment. Very nearly a moment of magic from the youngster, but it is going to be a 7th for forZe regardless.
Yeah, he needed 2 insta headshots there if he wanted any chance, and they gave him the slightly easier choice in the front with the op going out first, so that Shelfie was ready for the trade with the better health and with the rifle. So really, it was being played as well as they possibly could there on the forZe side of things to ensure that at the very least that trade was going to be there. That's been, I believe, now 7 rounds in a row for forZe. They have turned this half around completely after a pretty slow start. Almost kind of making you forget that things did not get off to such a great start for them at all. Movistar now desperately just want to end this with 1 more round. If they can add 5, if they can add a 5th rather onto this T side, then that's still a pretty decent T side. That's a half they can work with. As the quick mid play comes out from Adam. Okay, not managing to get the kill, but he does a ton of damage and manages to push the players back in towards Dona. So he's given them this mid control very early on and might even have that kill up towards the sniper's nest. Indeed, he does. I'm not sure if that was his nade or a teammate's nade. I think that might have actually been Crad's. Yeah, that's what I was thinking because I didn't see anyone throwing one for him. So yeah, ends up kind of backfiring, unfortunately. Gokushima on B in the meantime is being overrun as they've decided to go for the full commitment. Result is still here, though. He has had some crazy rounds so far, and he's not willing to give up right now.
He's bought them a 3-on-3 with a little cheeky smoke play. Did result in the death of Gokushima, though. Still an opportunity. That bomb ticking down. Adam watching up the ramp. In fact, 2 players watching up the ramp at the moment. That's 2 free kills. Nobody's looking, and Tenier takes advantage. 2 freebies. That is disastrous from Movi. 2 players posted on the ramp, both watching for the short long push. Nobody watching the flank. That's just 101. It's 8-4 as we head to the half. Disastrous for Movi.
love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
First half, a bitter pill to swallow for the Movistar Riders. 8-4 down from a 4-1 lead. And the rifle rounds really just fell apart a little bit towards the death of it. Redemption will be required on the CT side of their map pick if they want to make this one interesting, Dean.
Sorry, a massive turnaround is going to be needed, and not only in the early stages like we've seen in that first half, but once the guns come out, we never seen any sort of control into those gun rounds from Movistar. So See how things start off. Davy already eating a bit of a dink there, unfortunately, in towards the cave as this B push starts to come in, but it was a bait to get them up close and personal to Martinez's dual Berettas. He makes it work for a nice triple kill already somehow, but the Glocks are fighting back. It was Tanir doing what he could from that back corner towards long. Unfortunately, he is overwhelmed and overrun before he can get that reload in, giving the pistol round over towards Movistar, trying to salvage whatever utility might be lying around, I believe. Martinez on those dual Berettas, though, getting a 4K for himself in the end. He is loaded. He's got 5K.
CS2 Julies, baby. Absolutely lightning. And, well, Martinez is taking full advantage. Straight onto the AWP and no messing around. A much-needed pistol round for Movi. They've won both at this point. Question is, can they find success with the rifles? That was really where their T side fell apart. And they're going to be questioned early. forZe, of course, with that bomb going down, in a good position to force. 3 Galils, a Mach 10, Gokushima the significant sacrifice as he falls down to a Deagle. Not sure they'll necessarily be expecting the Martinez AWP, however. Currently nestled over towards A, but it's a fast play onto B, and Moppies and Davy G are ready for it. Krad does well to trade for one, but the site still very much contested. A loose smoke in the mid side gives these MP9s room to work. Shalfie trying to tip the scales back in his side's favour. Does get the critical kill, but immediately traded through the smoke. Gokushima doing what he can. Manages to get that bomb down. Buy them this 2-on-3, but with Martinez already posted on short with an AWP, you've got to imagine this is short-lived. Krad able to find one. Isolates Adam, and now a lonely short push for the 2 remaining CT players. Krad up close and personal. Could do a lot of the heavy lifting here. It's all on the timing. He swings wide, buys space for the trade from Gokushima, and now Martinez charging in. Knows he's got to get the pistol out to find the conversion, and just about skims it. The Julies come in clutch once again. It will be just about a 6th round on the board for the Movistar Riders. It is sketchy till the last, however. It goes down to the very last man. Gokushima doing fantastically well to land the Deagle shot to bring the 1v1 around. And I mean, as much as the rounds aren't going their way, I think forZe are going to be pretty happy with how these opening 2 have gone, Dean. They've brought them close on both occasions.
Yeah, I mean, they might have been kicking themselves that they weren't able to get that previous one over the finish line, but as you said, only a single player survives. They don't really carry much forward here, and they have no economy left in the reserves, so it's prompted forZe to just go for this force buy, and well, 5 Galils, it's not terrible. They've got decent firepower, decent utility behind it as well. There is a lot on the line now here in this round. If this one goes south without a bomb plant, without some good damage again being done, they could be looking at an eco. We could be seeing the scoreline start to even up.
They're going for the A play as well, which is where Martinez remains. On that AWP, tucked on the angle, able to grab one onto Tanir in the entry. Falls back safely to Temple. Now the utility as they start to try and flush them out, but they've left Donut open, and Just is fully ready to capitalize. 2 quick kills, and that should be the round as good as done. Shalfie and Gokushima trying to do what they can, but it's a couple of isolated kills in an overwhelming swarm of CTs. Gokushima left in a 1v3. Bomb down in Donut as well, so as he starts to try and be a little cheeky, a little sneaky through the temple, it's only a matter of time until indeed Davy G starts to turn, hold the flank. Mopos on a flanking mission of his own here through the Donut. The footsteps will surely be heard, and there we go. Movistar with 3 alive, survived the round, no bomb plant going down, and well, we're beginning to look like a bit of a fortune teller, Dean, because it's exactly as you foretold, an awkward economic situation for forZe.
Yeah, I mean, importantly as well, they don't do the damage this time. Movistar actually keep 3 of their players standing. They get to start building up that economy on top of whatever they're going to get here in this round now, where it's only an eco, some pistols, and a bit of utility being bought up for forZe. So, yeah, it's a real chance for Movistar. They'll stabilize likely at 8-8, potentially be in a position to start projecting themselves into the lead. Looks like a default mostly being held here from forZe. They've gone heavy on the Deagle, so they are going to be holding, maybe expecting some aggression. They have a good bit of utility for an execute that looks to be getting prepared in towards middle, so that they can go for that later control. Try and get up close and personal with those pistols. Close in the distance around the Donut, maybe around the sniper's nest.
You could see the A split. Good bit of potential. Movi have gone for the 3B stack in anticipation of the B play. little bit of a noise fake, though, just not falling for it. Couple of footsteps shown in towards A main as now they do group up towards Z, and as you said, look to try and take the fight in towards mid. Very, very passive stuff, though. I think forZe were expecting a little more proactivity out of the Movistar Riders. Now they will start to make their presence known. Smoke goes out. Hot flashes over the top. Mid control to be taken. Crad with a bit of damage through the smoke, but trades some good damage in return. And with 35 seconds left on the clock, I mean, where do forZe look to take this? They are a 4-man wrecking ball working their way through red. There's maybe potential to split either side, but they're going to have to deal with a well-tucked davidji with just 25 seconds on the clock as well. This is going to need some very good comms from this T side. Crad gets the smoke up. Martinez and davidji ready and waiting for it, though. Tanir able to get at least one, but he's lost all his teammates in amongst the fray, and picking up the rifle will be his downfall. A bit of a nothing round there from forZe, expecting perhaps a little more proactivity to punish from Movistar. The CTs play it passive, and they level things out at 8-all.
Yeah. Again, a little bit of damage being done, but nothing too substantial. So now or never for forZe to come back alive. We've seen them go down 4-0 in that first half as well before showing a single sign of life. So it might be the same thing to be happening here right now. As the mid-aggression from Adam comes in, he is going to actually catch this player coming through the smoke, but the flash is perfect. Brad has himself a free kill in on mid. Mopos is forced to go aggressive and try and pull that back, and he gets away with it. There was a player in on the left as well there. Davey also pushing down the ramp in the meantime. That's what kept them busy. And Mopos stays aggressive in towards that cave, waiting for Shalfie, who continues to just go one by one. That seems to be the play right now for forZe.
Ovi are showing a lot of different faces to their CT side at the moment, and it's starting to catch forZe off a little bit. Delayed reactivity in towards the B lane nets them a nice double. And this T side for forZe is starting to stutter. Pressure starting to mount. It is, of course, still the map pick of the Movistar Riders, so we have Nuke to follow. But I want a little more than this. Tanir and Result in the 3-on-2. I mean, there's still potential. They're going to trade their way into the cave now. We'll be able to confirm this is clear. And with Mopos solo on B, there's definitely a timing to be had here. It's a question of will forZe be able to grab it. 30 seconds left. Mopos checking short and long. That Molotov going out will give the game away. And Tanir a little late to get that bomb across here. In a little bit of trouble. Does well. Gets away with it. Plant to go down. And Result knows if this round is going to go anywhere positive, he's got to be proactive with it. And a huge spray down. Very nearly finds 2. Mopos down to half. davidji even lower. Super unfortunate. And now Tanir in a lot of trouble. He's got to try and play around this smoke. Trying to be cheeky with it. Grabs 2. Down to 25. Up against the AWP, HE available, and that's going to go right into the smoke, blows him down even lower. Martinez with a Molotov to follow it up, could just isolate this bomb entirely, taps it, wants to bait Tanir out into the open, but he's playing this smoke, just dancing around it, and Tanir has got his clutch, a 1v3 to give forZe the lead anew, and will that be the spark that their T side so desperately needed?
I was going to say now is a good time for a pause, even with the round win, because they should not have won that, and they're going to be worked up after Tanir pulled off that 1 versus 3, and that's exactly what they've gone for. Call in the tactical pause, make sure now that it's something that they can replicate and actually start chaining some rounds together, because otherwise they are still in a lot of trouble. The buy, though, not perfect for Movistar. There's an MP9 in there. Mopos, I was going to say, should just about have his rifle, but he also would have FAMAS to get the extra utility. So, as you can see, the firepower, not quite perfect for Movistar. Not great for forZe either. I mean, they've got a couple of Galils mixed in there as well. Is Crad going to get an AK? Yeah, he will in the end. So, it's not terrible either. But neither team is in a great position considering the scoreline. Whoever loses this one loses a lot of control.
Could well be the round that swings it. That pause looking smarter by the minute. And what do forZe want to do with it? A couple of players initially probing in towards A main. Mid control to be taken by Crad as well, uncontested by the CT side. And oh, Mopos had an angle. I think Shalfie has actually just ducked underneath it.
I think so.
Because now the HE goes in and does at least give the idea that there is some presence in this B lane. They're trying to keep the rotations away from mid, but instead it's going to be Adam and davidji working that angle just now. Solo out on A, got it all to do, and he can't find the initial shot. Utility to follow up. He's got good damage. It should be chippable by some of these rifles, but with the smokes blooming and the nades following up, it will be the site taken, and there's a huge decision to be made here for Movi. Gokushima has picked off Adam as he tried to be the hero out of Temple, and that's it. As you said, Dean, the economy on an absolute knife's edge. A couple of kills open up the A site, and there is no way this ET site can afford a 3v5 retake attempt. The numbers just do not add up, so it will be double digits for forZe. They will continue on their rifles to have impact on this T side of Ancient. Can't imagine they're going to hunt this too ferociously, though, as they themselves have some financial situations to be concerned with. I say that, and 4 of the 5 players make it all the way to B long, admittedly now slowing down.
I was going to say they should at least hang on to all 3 weapons, but Mopos eats a nade after fighting for his survival. Brad placed one in there. He threw it over B.
Showing his experience.
Yeah. He knew he wasn't going to make it in time. He's like, I got your back. I'll make sure that trade comes in. 10-8 though. 2 in a row for forZe. Out of nowhere, which is kind of how things played out in that first half as well. Once they stabilized, things started to look bad for Movistar, and that might be the case here again. There's an op and an M4 that's been saved over, but even then, the buy in this next round is not going to be great. They get 2,400, so their nades will be limited again. So ideally, if they could steal this away with the weapons now, that would be great. And there we go, a little boost back on B for Martinez. Snatches the kill, and they instantly leave B. They rotate off. They're going to take a bit of a gamble now elsewhere, hoping that since the op's been spotted in that direction, that forZe might avoid B. That doesn't look to be the case, though. They're actually all moving in this direction now. Bomb might be helpful.
Boost for a boost, and the CT side come off better. But yeah, you're right. They have just gone on to B. Shalfie's worked his way up, and Mopos, well, he's only got a CZ to contest this. Bomb's still in spawn. But I think this T-side have realised where the gap is now. It's a question of timings. You can see the rotation starting to come in, but the first rotate in is just on a default pistol. Then it's Adam with another default pistol. The 2 rifles are going to go on a flanking mission and hope to be the heroes. Utility's out. Bomb plant looks to go down, and it is on this flanking mission. davidji and Martinez to do it all. Tanir is aware of the possibility, but can't get his kill cleanly. 5 on 3. With a lot of pistols to try and chip away at these players. Result and Shalfie, though, are having absolutely none of it. For a split second, it looked dangerous, but now Martinez and davidji are stuck. Their positions are known. The nade tags davidji desperately low, and you can see they want these kills. They really do. Shalfie picks up the AWP to try and find them not to be. davidji spotted again by Crad, and somehow he continues to dodge the bullets. They'll work their way into A main, and this should be a position from which they cannot be found. Very lucky to get away with the 2 rifles. They do some decent damage, but nonetheless, it's forZe who are just 2 rounds away from stealing Movistar Riders' map pick.
Again, I'll set them up very well for Nuke, where Movistar haven't fared quite as well as of late. Their last 4 games have been losses. 5-13, 7-13, 6-13, 4-13. Things have not been going well on Nuke for Movistar. And, well, obviously now they're even dealing with the changes of davidji coming back in. So I would expect things to maybe even be a bit more of a struggle. So this is where they needed to get it done. This is where they still need to get it done. Movistar, they have the chance to still turn this around. 13-11, it is very doable. 5 rounds in a row on that CT side of Ancient. Easy peasy. In theory.
Yeah, I think it's easier said than done.
Yeah, but
especially when you're coming up against Result on 23.
Unless you're playing like Movistar have been in comparison to forZe, then it might be out of reach. But in normal circumstances, it's very doable.
We'll have to see if they can pull off the exceptional circumstances here. The CT side, some fast-paced presence in towards lane. Utility over the top, and Mopos very keen for it. Thinks about the peak and then decides against. Crad, though, has absolutely flown up mid. Is all the way into red and is drawing some very suspect rotations. He will go down. And that's a much needed kill for the CT side. If he'd stayed alive, it would have been absolute carnage. Mopos, meanwhile, has threaded the needle of his own smoke, and Shalfie not expecting it whatsoever. Movi going for the hero play. Result able to trade for one, and just on a good angle will find the response. Just taking 1v1s left, right, and center at the moment, forZe, and it is not working out for them. Adam with another. And Gokushima, well, he was boosted up early. He's been left alone by his team. 50 seconds on the clock. Bit of money in the back pocket, but I don't think there's anything to do other than hold on to this AWP, Dean.
Yeah, I mean, no other option really at this point. Movistar at least won't hunt it down because they need to keep their own weapons forward. So, yeah, the money will still be there. forZe will get everything again in this next round to keep the pressure on, but it's going to cost them, I believe, pretty much all of that money that's left in the reserve. There won't be a ton left over, so there is a path definitely forward. If Movistar take this next gun round, suddenly they're going on towards 10 already, probably an 11th off the back of it with an eco being in play. So the path forward, you can see it for sure.
Yeah, I'm a little confused by that round, in all honesty, from forZe. Crad, yeah, sure, he gets the control in towards mid, but he makes a lot of noise doing so, and at that point, you could see two CT players rotate in. He's easily picked off, and they didn't really pounce on it in the way I thought they would. I thought, you know, Crad pulls the rotations, they execute fast into one of the sites. Maybe that works. Instead, continued to be passive and just one by one took fights that were picked apart. I'll have to see what they do to change the play here. Still a good buy into this one, but as you said, this one goes wrong, and then suddenly it's an eco, everything's level, Movi have got their tails up, and it's a very different picture. Control out mid is the call again, and this time Crad does one better, two better in fact. Just and Adam go down. Full mid control established, a beautiful little pop flash out, both players isolated. Martinez to pick up the pieces. At the very least, the CT side have read the play correctly. Result, though, is making that look all too easy. Clean headshot onto Mopos to near there for Davaji's trade. And the rounds are goner. Maybe that's what Crad was trying to do last round. They'll hunt this AWP as well.
Yeah.
Plenty of cash in the bank.
Movistar didn't have the same option, obviously, before. Martinez is completely trapped right now. Surrounded, one player wrapping around behind them, and oh, Shalfie takes out a flash. Awkward timing, doesn't matter though, the upshot's missed and he gets the kill. Yeah, 12-9 now. One more round is all forZe need, 3 in a row for Movistar if they want to send it to an OT. And, well, as you can see, their buy here, not flawless at all. One M4 put on top of the one that was saved, and the op that was saved as well. Then you have a FAMAS and an MP9 with very limited nades. Oh, okay, he sold the M4 back to get a FAMAS in the end. I was wondering, I was like, they definitely had another M4, dude.
Trying to make this buy work, trying to give themselves something. 3 opportunities for forZe to put them to the sword. Mid control again to be contested early. Good damage onto Adam as they make their way out. A little more passive from the CT side, knowing how poorly the previous went. They've got to change the game up. It's going to mean mid is conceded. Just with a FAMAS in towards Donut. Not much of an opposition either. Result just through the smoke, deals with Mopos. Early man advantage. The B hold looking very splintered now as well. A split to follow up. Just flashed off. Needs to stick with it. Can't give the sound cues away that he's fading back. And while he gets one, the trades are immediate. Result continues to have impact in towards mid. And a 2v4 retake to save their map pick for the Movistar Riders. Bomb going down. T-side already well set in the afterplant. Okushima lies in wait towards CT. Hot flashes over the top to try and get past him, but he's having none of it on the AWP. And now Martinez does well to get one, but there is so much more where that came from. He waits for a flash that will never arrive, and it is forZe 13-9 who take the map pick of the Movistar Riders. And I mean, that was a 4-1 game. You saw Movi take both piss